1,600 ETH in sales. Now that's a successful NFT project right here.
This bag ain't never going out of style. This bag ain't never going out of style. Gucci, Louis, Fendi, Prada might have got a while, but this bag ain't never going out of style. Ooh, she feeling my style.
What's poppin'? It's your boy Cassius Cuvée here with my man DJ Lex on the show Poppin Crypto. We check your prejudice at the door because this ain't your average crypto show. We like to have a little bit of fun with it while educating at the same time. And today I'm bringing on Matt from Chibi. That's an NFT project that's already out. It's already successful. And we're going to show you what success looks like in this game. So DJ Lex, drop that beat one time. You know I'm going to spit a little something about the project Chibi. Check it. If the object of your NFT project is the profit, but you haven't even dropped yet, I'm about to show you what success really looked like. Started from the bottom with a drink, then it took flight. Chibi, Matt's lab is generating 3D. You best believe he making hard look easy, cause these be characters moving into Decentraland. If NFTs don't ever use, then I don't give a damn. Some PFPs be killing me, stop shilling me. You wanna have value, then you gotta have utility or ownership with royalties. Just like the Chibi team, imagine the value once you see him on the TV screen. And Chibi friends are a personal pet. They evolve when they grow, you ain't seen nothing yet. Yeah, a year from now is different, maybe then let's see. They keep changing like my hair, I'm an NFT, yeah. Chibi. DJ Lex. Chibi. My man DJ Lex. If you ain't sleeping, make sure you follow, like, and subscribe so that way you get notified every time I drop a new show. And now we're about to bring on the founder of Chibi. What's poppin', Matt?
What's happening?
Man, you know what I like to do is always highlight Web3 innovations. You got a real interesting NFT drop. It's already been successful. A lot of times I have on people who are about to drop something, but since you already had yours, you had a lot of success, you already told me about some partnerships and major things you got going on. I'd like to tap in with you and hear more about it.
Yeah, of course. I'm a Web3 dinosaur. All right. And our Chibi project has been around for almost a year now, which makes us OGs in the space. So, excited to talk about Chibis, tell you a little bit more about what we're doing, what we've been doing, and what we've accomplished. Because I think when you look around the space, you see a lot of promises, a lot of new projects rolling out, but there aren't many projects that could say they've accomplished as much as we have. So excited to share that.
Absolutely, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on. So I know you've got some stuff prepared for me. We could talk all day, but I know that you can show me better than you can tell me. So do you want to go ahead and share screen while we talk about it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah, so this is kind of the first tweet. This is the original tweet back from April 19th, 2021, when our artist Fabs launched Chibi Punks, which was then the original name of the project. As you can see, these are 3D characters, one-of-one characters that were originally created. It was not a generative project back then, and this was kind of like the beginning of the Chibi story. I like to go back to the Genesis story because I think it tells a lot about who we are and where we've come from. Right now, that collection, which has since been migrated, a big thing that happened very early on in the space is we were building on OpenSea's contract and learned very quickly that we had to migrate to our own contract for many different reasons. And that was kind of a Web3 education that we got. So we migrated our contract, created a new collection on OpenSea, and this is the Chibi Genesis collection. As you can see, it's 135 items. We're going to be going up to 200, so we continue to create these. These are our OG collection characters. And they're super unique when you look at them. I mean, everything's one of one. Not many of them share the same traits. And this was kind of what allowed me to fall in love with this project originally. Now, when I say fall in love with the project, so this was launched in April by my partner Fabs, Chibi Fabs. And I didn't come along until around July time. July time, we found the project, myself and H Bizzle, who are the other partners, and we both, started investing in the project. And quickly realized that, we were really passionate about this, got in touch with the Fabs and decided to partner up on it to become a partnership. That was July. After July, we decided as a group to launch our first generative project called Chibi Apes. Chibi Apes launched in September of this past year. This is a generative art project, 3,000 apes As you can see, really unique, has a lot of the same distinct features and characteristics from the Chibi Genesis collection. And this was kind of what put us on the map. And, you know, it was a really kind of surreal moment when we sold this project out. We had one of those really hyped and FOMO drop that people got gassed out of, and a lot of people were upset at the time. But it was really kind of that moment in time where we realized, like, you know, this was the start of something great. So what was interesting about this drop is we decided that this was going to be a drop for the people, right? We didn't want to do this cost prohibitive entry. So we did 0.025 back in September, which was not much money. And that was part of the reason why we had such a successful sellout. But if you look at our price, the price has been steadily rising over the past 6 months. You know, we're close to 8 to 9x on our floor price, but we've seen really significant adoption. We have over 60% unique ownership in this, and we've done over 1.6 thousand ETH in sales, which is really tremendous.
Wow. Say that one more time. How much in sales have you done?
1,600 ETH.
1,600 ETH in sales. Now that's a successful NFT project right here.
Yeah, and look, I don't like to quantify success of an NFT project by the amount of sales volume, the level of the floor price, because I think, you know, long term, some of that stuff is relevant in terms of the overall health of a project. But when I look at the overall health of a project, I look at the community, I look at the engagement, I look at, you know, what the team's doing and what they've delivered to the community. So that's always been a big thing for us. You know, I'm an operator, I'm a successful entrepreneur outside of this world, and I'm bringing, you know, all the skills that I've learned outside of my career here and applying it as a project, but now a traditional business model. And, you know, we have a fully doxed team, and I think some of the things that we're doing are really unique to the space. We've been the pioneers in a lot of the stuff that we've done, some of the things that I wanted to show you. So for instance, when we launched Chibi Apes, you know, one of the first things that we did was we allowed our collectors to basically download their own 3D files. So you could download your 3D files of your Chibi character right off of our website. And, you know, we made a little tutorial. I thought visually it'd be better to see it this way. You could actually go onto our website from your smartphone. You could load up your 3D model as you see your 3D model. And we actually built an augmented reality tool for your Chibis. Oh, nice. So you could actually take that Chibi and you could place it in a setting, and our community has had an absolute ball with this. It's a really cool feature, something that's really unique to the space and something that people have really enjoyed. When I think about the transition of Web3 and the kind of NFT avatars that we've become familiar with, you know, there's going to be a gap that gets bridged over time, that people start taking these assets and bringing them into new worlds, into new environments. And that's been our goal. Metaverse integration, augmented reality application, video games, and the future commercialization of this underlying IP. So these are some features, and it's really allowed us to do things that not many other projects have been allowed to do. For instance, we have a partnership with Jadu. You're familiar with them from holograms and jetpacks. Our Apes are on their app right now, along with CyberKongs, Fluff World, MeBits, and 2 other projects. But this was a really monumental thing for us to, you know, being in such good company like this. There you see that Chibi Ape, that same Chibi Ape flying around on a jetpack, which was just such a cool accomplishment for our team and also the Jadu team.
Now, if I own one of these, right, do I have the rights to, you know, market it however I want? Do I have full ownership of it?
You own full IP rights. And honestly, the way I've always looked at it, I want to, as the founder of this project, as the operator of this project, find as many ways to commercialize your underlying IP for you and figure out how to monetize it on your behalf, because that's what makes this space so special, right? I have to rely on my community to spread the word. Amongst themselves, amongst the community, amongst the Web3 community. So they're our ambassadors, right? They're our best marketers and our best advertisers. So my goal is to take my, you know, expertise as a businessman and figure out ways to monetize this. So the example I love to give, so like if my aspirational goals for Chibis would be to take Chibis and make it the next Pokemon. But say this Pokemon, this version of Pokemon is now democratized and owned by the public. So your Charizard now is actually owned by someone within my community. We don't know it yet because that character hasn't become so popular. It hasn't become a household name yet. But in the future, when it does, this is democratized and owned by these individuals who actually own their characters. So I think that's what becomes really brilliant about this space. It's a new ownership model where it's no longer corporations owning, the underlying IP and the underlying rights to this, but now the people actually own it.
And that's what I always like to say. Web 3.0 is read, write, and own. And that's the difference. And the other point that you made is that we're still early. I keep trying to tell everybody we're ahead of a tsunami wave that's coming with Web 3.0. And I like your model here that you've got going so that the people, the members of the community, have real ownership over their NFT. So, Matt, I know you're big in the Metaverse and SMI. Go ahead and tell me a little bit more about how your NFT project, Chibi's, how they fit into the Metaverse.
Yeah, so we made a big bet really early on. I mentioned we sold out that Chibi Apes project in September. When we sold that project out, we basically went and made a huge investment in Decentraland. We bought a 4x4 parcel, 16 individual parcels of land, contiguous along a road, really prime location. And we built this epic galactic jungle scene, like I had mentioned before. And it was, when we first set out to do it, it was very kind of early in the Metaverse game. About a month later, Mark Zuckerberg came out and changed the name of Facebook to Meta. And then the whole world went crazy. Mana went from 50 cents to $4, and kind of the rest is history. But, I think it's on us as the project creators, as the landowners, to really drive adoption in the Metaverse. And, we've taken that responsibility on, and we've converted thousands and thousands of people to Metaverse users for the first time. They've never been in Decentraland. They've never experienced it before. And, we, get to ultimately be those ushers of the Metaverse and bring them in for the first time. Yeah. So I think Decentraland is just scratching the surface because it's the most developed, but we're looking at Leap-In and Somnium. We're having conversations with, private custom metaverses that we're going to potentially build out land for our collectors and owners. So lots to do in the space. Yeah.
And I got some, I'll tell you offline, I got some, I know some people building some metaverses as well. But everyone who follows me knows I'm big into Decentraland, Somnium space as well. I got in months before that Mark Zuckerberg announcement. I was telling everybody, but I was also telling them about location, because you brought up a good point about being on the road. I made a video about it, and someone asked me, why should you be on the road? And one of my answers was advertising, but I wanted to ask you, why is it valuable to be along a road in Decentraland?
So it's not valuable right now because there's not much in Decentraland, right? Especially where we are. But all of a sudden, and I'll tell you a good example, because another project that I was working on built this amazing scene. They built this amazing building, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a building popped up right next to them. So I think what's really interesting is as these different environments get built out. Decentraland, for instance, if you're kind of a landlocked plot, and you start building, and then people start building around you, there's no way for people to enter your space. So if you have access to a road, when these metaverses are fully built out, people are going to be able to easily access your land, as opposed to just getting ported into your land when they enter Decentraland.
I also wanted you to get into a little bit more about some of your partnerships. Now, you mentioned something with Verizon.
So we launched a Valentine's Day promotion with Verizon. I have expertise in my past building partnerships with public companies, Fortune 500 companies. We had gotten in touch with Verizon, and we pitched them on an opportunity for them to really dip their toes in the Web3 space in an authentic way. And they were really great in embracing kind of the culture of the Web3 community and what Chibi's has built. And they said, hey, we'll take your lead on this. So what we did is we created the sweepstakes, where essentially anyone in the Web3 community, in the Verizon consumer population, or whoever else wanted to join, they basically submitted their worst Valentine's Day gift ever. And as part of the sweepstakes, Verizon picked out 20 of the best stories and gifts, and they created one-of-one NFTs for those. And we ended up creating this amazing collection. And the whole concept behind it was taking a bad gift and turning it into a good gift, which is now an NFT, and it was really successful. Verizon really enjoyed the partnership, and we're going to look to do more things like this in the future.
Man, that's dope right there. And see, that's what I'm always talking about, Web3 innovations. Everybody's thinking outside the box. We're really on the cutting edge, and you did something that, as far as I know, no one else has ever done before. So congratulations with that.
Thank you. Really appreciate that.
Now, where can people find you? Where can they follow you if they want to get involved in the community? What's the place, the best place to reach out?
Yeah, so typically I look at Chibi Labs on Twitter. So we're just ChibiLabs. I have the screen up here right now. Because we do have 3 collections, and I didn't even touch on my Genesis collection. That was the 3rd collection that we launched in November. You have access to all of our links here. So if you want to check them out on OpenSea, you could do so. So I'd say this is probably the best place to go. You could also go to chibilabs.io. We have a really cool interactive website here where you could get more information around all of our collections and some of our upcoming drops. As you see, Chibi Friends is one of our upcoming drops. It's our actual companion drop. I wanted to show some more information about that here. So here's a video showing our upcoming Chibi Friends drop. These are really cute and cuddly 3D pets that I think people are really going to end up loving. Everyone loves pets, and now being able to, attach this to your Chibi as a companion is something that's gonna be really cool. We look at these pets as your guide to the play to earn game for the future. So you're almost gonna have like a watchdog or a watch animal. It's like kind of like your hunting partner in our play to earn game in the future. So that's gonna be something that's really cool. So a few other things. We've been doing a ton of stuff in the metaverse that I wanted to share just briefly. This is Somnium Space. So our characters are 3D models that are fully rigged for the metaverses. So
nice.
This right here, you could see it just running around in Somnium, which is super cool. We've already done a ton of stuff in Decentraland. We have this massive galactic jungle scene in Decentraland. As you see in this video, this was from one of the parties that we held. This is kind of me running around with my avatar, my Chibi wings, as you see in our Decentraland scene. We threw an epic party, as you can see here. We had about 15 plus projects join us at this party. We had Aloe Black perform at the party. It was like one of the biggest parties in the metaverse I think that's ever been had. So these are some of the things that we're doing in our community that I've mentioned kind of in the beginning, where a lot of promises have been made in the space. A lot of new projects coming to market with 1 ETH floors, with 5 ETH floors that haven't done anything yet. We're tried and true. We've been around. We've dropped immense value on our owners and our collectors over time. And the amount of education that we're providing to our community over time, I like to say, I'm very proud of this, that we have one of the most sophisticated investing communities within the Web3 space. And it's because we instill certain practices within our community. So those are some of the things that get me really excited. I could go about talking on this stuff for days, but I'm just glad I got to share some of it with you and your audience.
And I'm glad to have you on. And I always say education is key with all of this. And however whatever their path to find and learn about Web3, that's what I'm all for. There's so many different ways to get started. Some people just trade crypto. Some people get involved with NFTs. I know people who flip domain names. Some people just want to get into the metaverse. This is one avenue of doing it, by your NFT drop, because you've made it so that it connects to the metaverse and connects to other things that are in Web 3.0. I really like it.
Yeah, it's fully integrated when you think about it. When you build an ecosystem like this, you have the NFTs, which are the 3D assets that then get to be dropped in a future video game or play to earn metaverse. You have the tokenomics that are going to be built around all this. So there's going to be a utility token that's really kind of powering everything within our ecosystem and driving, commerce and things like that. So it's really fascinating when you build these. It's literally like an entire economical model, an entire marketplace, and ultimately an ecosystem that's self-contained and kind of thriving within its own right.
Man, it sure looks epic, man. Big things coming for you, Matt. I know this project is not even close to being done. So I'm glad to have you on. Anybody out there, make sure you follow, like, and subscribe so that way you get notified every time I drop a new show. And appreciate having you on, Matt. This is a great one.
Yeah, I'm really happy to be here.
Thanks a lot,
talking.
Matt. Appreciate it. You missed a good one if you wasn't there. Taking over the game, man. NFTs, all that. That's how we get it, man. Artists taking it back for ourselves.